Listed in the data table are IQ scores for a random sample of subjects with medium lead levels in their blood. Also listed are statistics from a study done of IQ scores for a random sample of subjects with high lead levels. Assume that the two samples are independent, simple random samples selected from normally distributed populations. Do not assume that the population standard deviations are equal. Complete parts A and B below. If we click this icon, we're going to find the list of data values for the medium lead level group, and then we're going to find the actual statistics, the measures for the high lead level group. In order to use StatCrunch to compare these, we will need to find these same measures for the medium lead level group. So we'll click the little box, open it in StatCrunch, click Stat, Summary Statistics, Columns, Variable 1, and Compute. And now we're going to find that the sample size is 11. The sample mean is 91.727 when we round to 3 decimal places, as the other measures are rounded. And the standard deviation is 10.160 when we round to 3 decimal places. We'll also note that the sample size for group 2 is 11, the sample mean is 91.085, and the standard deviation is 10.089. Now, in order to compare these, we're going to take note of a couple of items. We were told that the populations were normally distributed. We're going to note that it told us that we are not to assume that the population standard deviations are equal, which tells us that we will not use the pooled variance when we find the statistics. So we're going to push stat, tstats, to sample with summary. Then we'll enter all of the values that we found. The sample mean for group 1 is 91.727. The sample standard deviation is 10.160. The sample size is 11. The sample mean for group 2 is 91.085. The standard deviation is 10.089, and the sample size is 11. Again, we will uncheck pool variances because we are told not to assume that the population standard deviations are equal. We're testing whether or not group 1 is larger than group 2, so we'll make sure that we have the greater than symbol, and we'll click Compute. We're going to find a t-statistic of 0.149 and a p-value of 0.4416. And already from this p-value, 0.4416, that's larger than alpha, which is 0.10, as we were told in the problem, we know that we would not reject the null hypothesis. And here are the hypotheses. mu1 minus mu2 equal to 0, mu1 minus mu2 greater than 0. So in the problem, we will select the appropriate hypotheses. And we're asked to fill in the test statistic, which we found to be 0.15 when we round to 2 decimal places, as we are directed. The p-value, which we were to round to 3 then, would be 0.442. We will fail to reject the null hypothesis and conclude that there is not sufficient evidence to support the claim that subjects with medium lead levels have higher IQ scores.